So the moral of the story here for Oregon State today, something that we've known for a little while, but I guess we get a good slot to talk about it here. Damian Martinez is really good at football.
Yeah, I mean, it's really impressed with him today. I mean, the offensive line obviously made it really easy on him and all of the skill players, really. But one of the things I was most impressed with him, and we were kind of watching some film in the office today, is that Martinez does such a great job of setting up his offensive line. You can tell he really knows where his aiming points are in the wide zone. He really does a great job to stretch things and then cut back. He really, what we call delivers blocks to his offensive linemen. You see a great example of that right there. And so he just makes things, you know, a really great running back doesn't just, you know, make people miss, but he makes things easier on the offensive line. He makes things easier on his quarterback. And you saw a lot of that from Martinez today, even as he was running through holes that were wide open, right?
A theme on this show this year has kind of been Oregon State is a different team at home compared to when they're out on the road. I think especially defensively that rings true. Today we say it was kind of a glaring example of that today. You were pretty worked up about it coming into the office.
I just don't get it. I'm trying to figure out why they're so different at home versus on the road. You know, on the road they kind of just don't really have that second gear that they get to at home, right? They got ahead of Stanford today and never looked back. I mean, they stepped on the throat and that game was over before it even started. Whereas, you know, they got up against Arizona, they let Arizona back in, they end up losing that game. You know, they're in control against Colorado and then they mess around in the fourth quarter and almost let Colorado come back. There's just not that same finish on the road that they have, whereas at home it seems like whether it's the energy or the comfortability of being at home where they finish.
And they're going to talk about Washington coming home all week long. So it'll be really interesting to see the Oregon State home team play against a number 5 team in the country.